the last 4 years, I taught in a school with no principal. It wasn't that ours had quit or that we couldn't afford one. It was the Rudolph Steiner School on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, across from Central Park, where the kids scattered every day for recess. It's the oldest Waldorf school in the United States. Born from the creative genius of Mr. Rudolph Steiner, an Austrian philosopher with radical notions about education and human development. As far as I can gather, you can boil his pedagogy down to freedom and observation. It was invigorating to teach out of a true sense of freedom and personal accountability. Waldorf schools do have an admin structure, but the teachers run the pedagogy itself. When I first started back in Nashville, I was confronted by an older teacher with exceptional vocal quality about my overuse of the word like. I was caught off guard, but I appreciated her courageous confrontation of what she saw as a block between my students and myself. It was oddly liberating to hear honest critique in a time when companies like Amazon resort to encouraging employees to spy on each other. Pettiness and superficiality don't stand a chance against honest human-to-human interaction. Woo. I can best describe a working environment like that as a living experiment. Now that I'm taking a break from full-time teaching to freelance for a while, I find myself reflecting on that word, free, and the personal responsibility, the maturity that it implies. Growing up can be weird, scary, but it's also exciting because it's personal evolution. We finally have the freedom to choose how to spend our time on this planet, where to focus our attention. Deliberate and grateful observation of the world around me helps me feel less overwhelmed as a young adult with a pretty eclectic range of interests. I'm kind of all over the map. I encourage my college students to offer the world their attention. I believe curious observation may just be the key to eternal youth. Imagine all the youngest, older people you know. I think of my Grandma Mac, my dad's mother, my grandma, and her uncanny ability to notice and enjoy seemingly trite details around her. My grandma is an expert naturalist by osmosis, and when she came to visit me in New York, when I lived there, I took her directly down to the East River for the view of the Manhattan skyline. The evening views were stunning. And she smiled, and then bent over some reeds, and remarked, "Oh my, what lovely fountain grass." It was her first time ever seeing the whole skyline. I was like, "Grandma, look." But she was curious about the plants too. She never misses a thing. In order to keep fresh flow in my own artistic life, I observe the natural world and its rhythms. For me, the best thing about teaching is the rhythm of the school year. And Waldorf schools are particularly big on marking this rhythm through festivals. They commemorate all kinds of really obscure holidays, some of which I've never heard of before, like this one called Michaelmas, which is actually right now, this time of year, it's a holiday in September to celebrate gathering up courage and slaying dragons. Celebrating seasons and the liturgy of religious and civic holidays slows me down and helps me pay attention to my time on this planet. It even helps me remember that I'm on a planet, like with the Perseid meteor shower we watched in a field a while ago, hopefully a new yearly tradition. I love that my friends are great sports about partying together over the tiniest excuse for an occasion. From New Year's in Wyoming burning down a towering giant, to international mini-golf progressive parties yet to be actualized. From Chinese New Year parades to Easter egg hunts to moonlight campouts, and even a favorite Southern California import, El Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, to honor deceased relatives instead of forgetting about them, like we're prone to do. These occasions provide an excuse to gather and exchange gifts with everyone who's on Earth at the same time that we are. Reminds us that we're interdependent in community rituals. Observing festivals helps us pay attention to where we are and who we are with. We mark time with laughter, joining in as childish grown-ups, savoring this movable feast of the year. It's so common to do this. Same stuff year after year, but there's really beauty in the simple repetitions. And novelty does come along with new twists that can be added as we inherit traditions from new friends and make up new holidays of our own, new ways to gather and celebrate. So, I am thankful for zany thinkers like Rudolf Steiner, because his system of education helped me define what I love most about being a human being. Acting in freedom and offering my attention. Thanks.